welcome or welcome back to Third Win Thursdays. I'm joined by John and Eric, partners at TWG, but today is a very special day as well, as we have the man in the cheese hat himself joining us, Mr. Stephen Ritz. He is an internationally acclaimed educator, author of the best-selling book, The Power of a Plant, and founder of Green Bronx Machine. And he is also a TWG client, and we are happy to have you join us today.
Well, thanks. I'm delighted to be here. Let's get this party started.
So Stephen, we call this show the Third Win Thursdays. We call our company Third Win Group, and win-win-win, and the third win is kind of part of our ethos. So what is that? What does a third win mean to you? What does a win-win-win mindset mean to you as Stephen Ritz?
So it's interesting, because many years ago I gave a TED Talk where I talked about a triple bottom line, things that are good for people, planet, and prosperity. I think that, since then I've kind of morphed that into a quintuple bottom line, which is people, planet, profit, progress, and purpose. So I'm all about those kind of big wins, but getting specifically back to the work that you gentlemen do over at the Third Win Group, it should just not be one person benefits. It should just not simply be a transaction. So there should be a benefit for all parties, for the public at large, and some kind of virtuous cycle that brings whatever engagement, opportunity, or relationship that you are engaged with into a more fulfilling purpose, where people move first and foremost from engagement, which is good, but to fulfillment, where all parties are fulfilled, and it pays it forward and seeds future opportunities. I always say that, for those who know me, I'm married to my wife and everything else is innovation. So I like long-term relationships, and I think that epitomizes what Third Win Group and the Third Win mindset is all about. Small concentric circles of success that grow something greater.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So Stephen, you have a million different projects going on. You're running Green Bronx Machine. You're an educator at a public school in the Bronx, New York. But I saw you just recently launch a new organization that is similar in terms of this mindset that you're trying to share with the world, share with the business community in general. Curious about that. Tell me about this new organization that you've launched.
So we are involved. Thank you so much for that. I'm humbled. I wasn't expecting that question, but that's okay. And it's okay not to expect questions in life. You got to be ready for them. But, the purpose mindset really is engaged with moving people from transactional thinking to, if you will, fulfillment, to long-term relationships. I like to say agency, identity, and belief. So, or you could start the other way with saying, belief, because you believe in something, and you believe in Santa Claus, so to say, and then you identify with it. And that product, as you get older, you know that there is no Santa Claus. Sorry to wake anybody up out there, but you can have this agency about being your own Santa Claus, or being Santa Claus for other people, that really transform lives and relationships, and leads to a greater sense of fulfillment. So many people grow up with trauma in their lives and baggage, and that baggage and that trauma results in either bad decisions or trading time for money. And we never really think about what the larger things are. And it's important to trade your time for money, but money shouldn't be the end all and be all. And if you are happier at work and more fulfilled at work, you will stay at that job and probably do a better job and find your own journey. So it's less about the destination, if you will, and more about the journey. It's less about the responsibility and more about the experience. And that's what I like to bring in everything I do. That's the work behind Green Bronx Machine, is, to move children from being consumers to producers, to enable teachers to have the tools that they need to not only survive in the classroom, but to thrive in the classroom and empower their students to become the next generation of decision makers, of advocates, of equity warriors, of conscious consumers and brand makers instead of brand takers, if you will. to literally move everybody up the food chain. So for me, that's what third win is all about. The larger win. It's not just about the two entities that come together for a specific purpose and a binded contract, but a larger societal contract that moves all of us forward, the social contract, if you will, and the better good.
Speaking our language, Stephen. Speaking our language, couldn't be more aligned in terms of what we're doing. So I have one more question, and then I want to throw it over to the other guys. Let's think back to when you were beginning your career. All right. So what would you tell Stephen Ritz, when you were beginning your career? What are 3 lessons that you know now that you wish you knew at the start of your career?
I think what I know. So number 1 lesson is, know your ask, for sure. Wherever you go, know your ask. So the first lesson is showing up is very powerful. It happens by being there, and it happens by being present. And you don't have to bring your whole self to work, but you need to bring your best self to work. Number 2 is knowing your ask. Because if you don't know your ask, someone's going to tell you what you're there for instead of what you need from them. And then, it's interesting. I put up a post today on LinkedIn. I believe we're on LinkedIn right now regarding one of the most influential business leaders in my life, a guy named Dave Stangus. And, Dave, he's a brilliant business mind. And his essential question is what value and what return on investment will you be bringing to shareholders and stakeholders? What's the value you're going to deliver? But the most important lesson that I've learned is hope doesn't abandon you. You abandon hope. So, the one thing that I encourage everyone, and my lesson 40 years into a professional career is, passion, purpose, and hope is what you need, and bring your best self daily. I remain the chief eternal optimist. So that's it. You can't do everything, but everyone can do something.
Amazing.
No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. And the other thing is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. So you got to start, and you got to start today, and you got to make some goals and stick to them.
Amen. Guys,
really accountable.
Awesome. Guys, what do you got for Stephen?
I'm about to say, am I the only one with goosebumps over here? All I have to say is I just have to give a quick shout out to the first time that me and Stephen ever met at a conference, and we bumped into each other, and Stephen carried the exact same energy that you guys on LinkedIn and on YouTube are seeing right now. He's the same person, and he brings his best foot forward every day and his best self every day. And Stephen, it's been a pleasure so far, man. I don't even have a question for you. I just have thanks for you.
Well, hit me hard with something, man. Hit me hard with something, please.
John hits you with all the crazy questions. And, I'm still over here daydreaming about your answer for what a third win is, because we must be doing something right.
Listen, you guys are doing something right. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate this collective. And for those who are watching, let's figure out a way to grow something greater together. I'm excited by your ambition. I'm excited by who you are. I'm excited by your passion, and by the larger vision. You guys are just not a money-making entity. You're really focused on leaving. Another thing Dave taught me is legacy is not what you leave for people. It's what you leave in people. And I think that's the collective work that we hope to do here together. So, if you're looking for an opportunity, please reach out to either John, Eric, or I. We'd love to talk.
100%. Scott, do you have any questions for Stephen?
Well, I always have questions. But
good. I love that answer. That's a great
First of all,
stay asking questions, Scott.
You were talking about those concentric circles, and if you haven't read it already, I think you'd like the book Donut Economics by Kate Raworth. And she has a similar theory about the economy based off of a circular model. So there you go. And then
if you read her book but haven't read mine, please get a copy on the Green Bronx Machine website. You'll be doing a three-way win. You'll be supporting an organization, evangelizing the good word, and helping us grow something greater.
Exactly.
Perfect plug.
There we go. Wasn't even practiced.
All right, there it is.
But yeah, my question is essentially, throughout the time that you've had at Green Bronx Machine and as an educator in this space, I feel like there's a lot of times that our educators, specifically in the U.S. system, are very underappreciated. And I think alongside that, building an organization as impactful as Green Bronx Machine is difficult in and of itself. So how did you balance the two, of remaining true to yourself as an educator and then building something bigger?
Well, I'm a big believer that we collectively are the ones we are waiting for. And that's at the heart of my work, is that people shouldn't have to leave their communities to live, learn, and earn in a better one. And we don't need people on white horses. I've been around long enough to know. I talked about Santa Claus. Superman is not coming to the South Bronx. I've got news to you. There are a lot of people who want to pretend they are Superman. But, for far too long, communities like mine, people have gotten far too fat off communities like ours under the pretense of bringing change. And, our lived experience matters. And, we've been denied seats at the table, so you just got to build your own seat at the table. And, in terms of the work, I've got two speeds, fast and faster. But the speed that I operate best on is the speed of trust. And when you have the trust of community, when you have the trust of colleagues, you can do amazing things. And let me be clear, teachers change lives. So this organization was not built to profit off of teachers, but to support teachers, to create the next generation of teachers. That's why we created curriculum that has transformed schools around the nation, to provide teachers the tools and yet the autonomy they need to not only survive, but to thrive, and then get the help and create a climate where it's okay in a culture to say, hey, I need help. How do you get better? How do you do this better, more efficiently, rather than feeling penalized or at risk for sharing your vulnerabilities. I like to create cultures of success, and that's hard. And it requires a lot of courage. But, I always say that the opposite of courage is not cowardice. The opposite of courage is conformity, because even a dead fish can go with the flow. And we are not dead fish. We've got to swim. We've got to swim upstream. We've got to be salmon and get to that eternal place where we can spawn. So my goal is to help people just get one hop, get one hop closer to the place you need to spawn. And then, make some more friends and shake hands and keep growing something greater along the way. That's what the work is all about. The degree to which we collectively resist any injustice, now more than ever, above and beyond the third win group, is the degree to which we are all free. And right now, we need to be mindful of that in this country, in our classrooms. The greatest lever this nation has towards equity and inclusion is public education. So let's cherish it. Let's revere it, let's uplift it, and let's celebrate our teachers and give them the tools they need to thrive.
Amen. Amen, Stephen. All right, I got one more question for you, and then we'll let you go. So we work with clients of all shapes and sizes, all ages, all kinds of different backgrounds. For the younger clients in the TWG community who are trying to find their way, who are trying to find their purpose and their passion outside of sports, outside of business, what have you, how do I, a lot of times they ask me, like, how do I get started? If I want to make an impact in my community, how do I get started? What should I do?
So,
right.
That's a great question. I think you've got to do what moves you. You put the stake in the ground right where you are. History has taught us that lots of people can do great things. People are capable of one great thing. Companies are great with a day of service. But how do you do the small things daily? So finding the small things daily, the getting to the gym, the working out daily that builds strength and resistance and endurance over time, that's what you want to do. So put your stake in the ground where you live. Do something that's personally meaningful for you in your life, because odds are it will bring a greater sense of satisfaction and result for you. And then also it emulates and radiates around you. And then, pick your battles carefully. Again, like I said, no one can do everything, but everyone can do something, and you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Showing up is powerful, and if you don't ask, the answer will be no. So, Scott, to your point, keep asking questions, dude.
Awesome.
Questions have answers.
And with that, this is less of a question, but we want to we want to give you this space to share anything you've got going on. Obviously, some of those things have already been mentioned, but if there's anything else you want to throw out there to the TWG community and beyond.
So for sure, obviously, TWG and Stephen Ritz and Green Bronx Machine are looking for opportunity. If you'd like to bring our program to your community, if you'd like to be a scalable, low-cost, replicable classroom model that encourages public school performance and impacts social determinants of health, we are your people. If my message resonates with you, please reach out to Eric or John and book me for a speaking gig. We've engaged corporate clients from rooms of 50 to rooms of 5,000 with over 300 standing ovations to date. But most importantly, do something today that you and your future self will thank you for. And that's my message to you today. But most important, and beyond that, feel free to reach out to any of us. Obviously, we're here on LinkedIn, via social media. Check out the Stephen Ritz and Green Bronx Machine websites, as well as the Third Win website, and do something today that makes you feel good. Look up, kiss someone, and remember that from our little humble corner of the globe, and yours as well, you have the potential to change the world. And don't ever forget it. I like to say this message is transported by the cloud, but we are all powered by the sun. So look up and let that warmth hit you on the face.
Perfect.
Man.
Couldn't have been a better first guest on Third Win Thursday. Stephen, thank you so much. Can't wait to get this out to all of our fans, all of our listeners, and we will talk to you very soon, my friend.
I like to say it's not goodbye, but see you soon. Thanks kindly, guys.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you, man.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We might have all just lost our spots on Third Win Thursdays. It's going to be just Scott and Stephen in the future.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would subscribe. I'd hit the subscribe button on that show. Well, Scott, you're the leader here. Where do we go from here?
Yeah,
how do we even top that?
We won't this week, is what I'll say. We'll leave you with those golden nuggets to ponder upon for now. And the only thing we want to cover right now is some final community updates. John, I feel like you're going to have a little something to say here. First of all, congratulations on this. But the first NIL collective for Georgetown, Hoyas Rising, is launched this week and is open to opportunity, discussion, all of the above. And our dear colleague here, John, is the director of sales there and athlete engagement, and he's ready to take the world by storm. So the floor is yours, John.
Well, look, I appreciate it, guys. And first and foremost, the mission with TWG doesn't change. This is just me taking on a little bit more responsibility to serve, the student athletes at my alma mater. Georgetown was transformative to my life, certainly. And Georgetown athletics has been in my life pretty much from day one. I was literally a little baby going to Georgetown men's basketball games with my family. Both my parents are Hoyas. So we used to be going to the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, right? This is before they even started playing downtown. So this is a huge honor. I'm thrilled to be a part of Hoyas Rising. We are going to be building TWG and Hoyas Rising simultaneously. I'm not Elon Musk running 5 different companies at once, but I'll try and run 2 different companies at once and see how it goes. But yeah, man, it's core to my mission. And I was talking to a client the other day, and it kind of came out. And I said, my mission is to serve individuals in sports entertainment who want to serve others. And it's I'm just continuing. This is a continuation of my personal mission, just in another organization that I'll be able to support and build, while we build TWG together. So really, really excited about it. It's a huge honor, gonna be really an incredible, experience in my life. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish over at Hoyas Rising.
And we are very proud of you over here. And again, it's just shows the growth and development of TWG. John, I know me and you can think back to 2 years ago or so when it was me and you doing a little bit of everything. And as sad as it is for us, we're so proud to have people like Scott, have a marketing team, have partnerships team, and really be building the TWG community to the point where John and I, as the original two now, can really take on opportunities that in the end, support TWG and support, again, the overall goal of what we're trying to build here in the community that we're building in the sports and entertainment industry. So again, congrats, John. Really happy for you. Hoya Saxa, happy for the Hoya community. And again, we got so many really awesome things coming up. Just wrapping up with some other TWG updates. You probably saw on our Instagram and our socials, some shout out to Carol Solberg, won her tournament down in the Copa Sudamericana last weekend. So shout out to her, stacking wins and getting ready as she preps for the Paris 2024 qualifiers coming up at the end of this year. So shout out to her. Want to give a quick shout out to our BMX pro, Joss Camera. And we love you, Joss. We know she's been going through a lot of recovery things from the awesome tricks that she does and the adventure lifestyle that she lives. We're right behind you, and we're excited to share your story, Joss. And 1 week from today will be the first Boys in the Wood retreat out in the Pacific Northwest. So shout out to CJ Golding and his team for all the work that they've been doing and for a lot of really awesome partners that they've been bringing together to really provide support for what will be, I believe, 50 Black men going on an outdoor 4 to 5 day retreat together. Again, there's going to be some really awesome stories to tell, and it's really achieving the mission that CJ had, and we're happy to be a part of that. So a lot of cool things going on in TWG, and we're excited to keep this summer nice and busy.
It's pretty incredible just to think about, like, wow, all these incredible people part of this community, right? Like, it's amazing to think. And we're about to reach our 4-year anniversary too, as a company. It's like, wow, what an honor, what a privilege to work with all these individuals who are, like Steven said, like, going out and doing the work in their community, right? Which is truly an honor and a privilege to associate with and work with these folks. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do some headlines, or you just want to cut it there for this week?
Oof, I mean, we might just have to cut it there for the week. I mean, I'm still fired up. I could run through a wall from the great lines that Steven Ritz gave us. I will say, for all the listeners, for everyone out there, you want to hop on this show, you want to talk, we got some people lined up, but please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to get you on and talk about things that you have going on. So let's, we're tired of hearing from just the three of us, no matter how cool we are. We're always down to bring on some other people.
Exactly. Well, as always, thank you for joining, gents, and good luck with Hoya's Rising, John. And to all our clients with everything coming up, good luck as well.
Let me leave you with this too, guys. Don't just read the news, make the news.
Ooh. Gems. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Scott, I don't know what it is in Europe, but have a great weekend. Shout out to the end of the Premier League season. Go Man City. Man City's going to win the treble. Here we go. Cheers.
I'm not happy about that, but hey,
it's what it is.
It is what it is. At least Man U's in the Champions League.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and there's 3 Ecuadorians on the Brighton team, and they just made their first classified for their first European berth in the Europa League. So
there might be an Estupinian jersey coming your way, Scott.
All right, I like that. But that's all we have for today. Thanks everyone for joining, and we will catch you next week.
Adios.